Have you ever heard a song and be absolutely stopped in your tracks? I remember when my dad died hearing the song It Don't Matter to the Sun by Rosie Thomas. I remember being completely moved and overwhelmed, to be honest, by that song. Beautiful song. I think because it explains exactly at the time how I was feeling. You know, it doesn't matter to the sun. It reminds me that the sun will still shine down on another day, irrelevant if your loved ones are in it or not. It also reminds me that the world doesn't stop, even if it feels as though it has stopped spinning for you for a little while. There will be a tomorrow. At the time I found that very hard to accept, that the world would still rotate without my dad in it, that there'd still be a tomorrow, that the moon would just keep hanging around like it's just another night. And to be honest, I struggled. I really struggled when I saw people living and smiling and laughing and planning and getting on with their life. My dad had died. I wanted to shout, "Stop the world." I just wanted to get off for a while, take a breath and process it all. But that was not possible. I had to stay on the world and stay with my day. But to be honest, I just wanted to go to some in-between place where everyone there was on the exact same journey as me and everyone shared the same pain and devastation, fragility. But such a place doesn't obviously exist. You have to stay on the world and try to keep going in your new abnormal world until this grief is beside you and no longer on top of you. It's quite cruel when you think of it. It's a huge ask. It's a tough aggravation. When someone you love dies, you just want to make the pain stop, all of it. Your body is filled with emotional and physical pain. It's quite numbing and overwhelming, to be honest. I just wanted the world to stop, even if it was out of a mark of respect for the theft of such a wonderful man. These feelings that I was feeling were beautifully captured in the poem Stop All the Clocks by A.H. Auden. It was read in the movie Four Weddings and a Funeral, if you remember that movie. I'll just read 2 quick verses of it. He was my north, my south, my east, my west, my working week and my Sunday rest, my noon, my midnight, my talk, my song. I thought that love would last forever. I was wrong. The stars are not wanted now. Put out every one. Pack up the moon and dismantle the sun. Pour away the ocean and sweep up the wood. For nothing now can ever come to any good. And that was exactly how I felt at that time. 4 years on, I have moved forward with my grief. I'm so thankful for that. I'm also proud of what I've achieved. And I'm not talking about moving mountains. I'm talking about, not losing my mind, not dying of a broken heart, not attacking anybody or hurting anyone with my words. I kept my family and my job. I think that's a great achievement. There's no doubt that I miss you every day in every way, but I know that you're there in a different way, and I feel it, and I know it. And in that song, Andrea Bocelli, Fall on Me, I absolutely love that verse where they say, I close my eyes and I'm seeing you everywhere. I step outside, it's like I'm breathing you in the air. I can feel you there. I suppose what I'm trying to say is that all that does ease a little. You do get hope, you do find a way. But what the bereaved need most is acknowledgement of their pain and their sorrow. Because the death of a loved one is the most profound of all sorrows. It throws every aspect of our lives out of balance. Because love doesn't die. And to grieve is to celebrate the depth of that union. And the goal is to learn to face reality and the pain of our loss and to say goodbye to the loved one. To restore ourselves and to reinvest in life once again. It's hard to let go of that intense connection. Our love will never die, and the pain of our loss will and can eventually dissolve. But it's hard work. Grief is like a wound that needs attention in order to heal, and we have to give it attention. We try to face our feelings openly and honestly, to express our feelings fully, and to tolerate and accept our feelings for however long it takes for that wound to heal. Therefore, it takes courage to grieve. Tears are okay. They actually afford us the necessary release of our intense feelings. Love does not need grief to support its truth. Love can last in a more healthy and meaningful way once our grief is dispelled. And if you need to cry, I say cry. Death is natural. It reminds us not to wait until tomorrow to do what we mean to do. As Viktor Frankl said, we cannot, after all, judge a biography by its length, by the number of pages in it. We must judge it by the richness of the contents. Sometimes the unfinished are among the most beautiful symphonies. Each person we love is unique to us. Since grief is so painful and hard to sustain, we tend to push ourselves to finish grieving long before we are ready. Where our life was connected to another's, there's a huge gap when that person is gone. It's essential that we do not expect too much of ourselves, since loss makes life feel quite abnormal. Trying to resume any kind of normal routine too quickly after death can be a very difficult endeavour. In my opinion, following my grief, there are two major tasks that I feel need to be accomplished. The first is to accept that the death has occurred, and that takes time. It takes work. The second is to experience and deal with all the emotions and problems this loss created for the bereaved. In truth, I hoped I would awaken from my nightmare. In my dreams he was alive, and when I woke, the nightmare resumed. There are so many emotions tumbling around. I tried to keep busy to avoid the quietness and to keep the thoughts at bay, but that only brought exhaustion. So much energy is tied up with grief that there is little energy available for action or function. It's all part of it. But I will tell you this, you will get there. There is no way around it. You just have to go through it. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Pace yourself. Do it your way. Trust in you. Know and trust that your heavenly person will walk beside you forevermore. Because love conquers all. And that matters to me.
Taught me right from wrong when I was 3. He taught me that some things would just simply be. A shoulder to cry on, a sound ear to rely on, a vice I would follow till all my troubles were gone. He told me to change all the things that I could change, and showed me how to face all the things I found strange. He taught me that sickness was a battle to fight, and that at the end of the tunnel there would always be light. The grass isn't always greener on the other side, so follow your heart with dignity and pride. He told me not to waste energy on giving out, and that only positive words should come out of my mouth. He taught me to be kind, sweet, patient and caring, and that a life worth living was a life worth sharing. He told me that a cool head meant dry pants, and that he owed a lot of his joy to his love of dance. He told me to cut my cloth according to measure, and that love was something always to treasure. He taught me to stand on my own 2 feet, and that success with hard work was hard to beat. He taught me to be independent, resourceful, honest and true in every single thing that I would do. He taught me to gather the facts before I decide, so that with a clear conscience I could reside. He taught me to respect the things that I own, and that with many friends I would never be alone. He taught me to set my sights on what I would like to gain, and to acknowledge that some things are earned with pain. He told me that when life throws challenges at us, there will never be time to make a fuss. Take it on the chin, take it in your stride. In each other's strength we had such pride. Death left a heartache that no one can heal, but his love has left memories that no one can steal. Forever in my heart, happy Father's Day in heaven, my best friend, my Father Joe. 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 My father, Joe.